Hey, Off-White Coat listeners, it is my privilege to get to tell you about this sweet deal from our friends over at Picmonic. If you haven't heard about Picmonic, it is a fantastic picture-based mnemonic platform that can certainly help out any student. Most of the videos are around 2 minutes long and provide a quick and effective way to memorize material for any upcoming medical exam. It is extremely efficient. They have this search bar function where you can search playlists on general topics like renal to step 1 to step 2, or even first aid and other books. If you want to review the Picmonic for later, you can even make a playlist of your own. Picmonic even has this repetition algorithm that is spaced out according to your learning needs. This helps with increasing long-term retention and allows you to review the right information at the right time. One of my favorite functions is the quizzes that are associated with each Picmonic. I'll take the quiz first and then learn about the associated pictures and what facts I need to sharpen up on. Honestly, Picmonic is a fantastic tool, and if you use our code OFFWHITECOAT, you'll get 20% off. That's Off-White Coat with no spaces. So what are you waiting for? Make studying the easiest part of your day. Sign up with Picmonic and use Off-White Coat to save yourself some money. Hello, everyone. This is the Off-White Coat podcast, and I am Jordan Abney. I'm joined today with future Dr. Gonzalez and Dr. Fragner. These are my buddies from St. George's University, where I attended medical school, and we were roommates, buddies through the end. Introduce yourself. See if that mic works.
What's up? I'm Lewis.
Yeah.
Jordan, you have a very soft, silky voice.
I know, it puts people to sleep.
It's like an ASMR at this point.
And I'm Michael, their friend Michael.
We've pretty much gone all the way through medical school. I think I met both of y'all the first week. We went to a party together, I met on the basketball court.
I met Jordan on the basketball court.
Like day 3.
Via winning on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Such a top-tier athlete. What a guy.
Yeah, we were on, we had a whole intramural team. We had a couple good years.
What was our name again?
I remember. I slightly remember a Thunderbolt.
There was one I got jerseys for.
There was a Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
It was the Shockers.
Oh yeah, we were the Shockers. Yes.
For when you shock someone to bring them back to life.
Yes.
Of course, that's
really
purely the intention of the name.
Yes.
Solid puns, my guy.
If there's any chewing, it's me and the salami.
Just me and the salami together.
Don't be alarmed by strange sounds.
We've got a charcuterie board prepared by Mary Beth.
You have the token Jewish man as well.
We need one. We always need one at the celebration.
What rotations are you on now?
I'm currently on a hematology-oncology rotation, and Lewis is on
cardiology.
Anything been going on there?
Honestly, the Bronx is just wild.
Really?
The Bronx is just insane. Like, I'll never forget, like, my first day, as I'm, like, coming out of the train, the hospital is maybe, like, 2 blocks away. So I'm coming out of the train, and, like, they have, like, multiple different, like, entrances into the train station. And as I'm, like, coming out, I see a guy, like, leaning against one of the walls near, like, the 4 train. And the guy's just openly shooting up at, like, 8 a.m.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, wow, holy shit. I'm like, this is what I really come into. So I walk in, and I will never forget, like, one of the other guys in our class, he's there. I ask him, I'm like, yo, man, is the Bronx just as bad as, like, people say? He's like, oh, yeah, dude, the amount of, like, substance, like, use in this part of town is ridiculous. Like, I saw a 62-year-old patient that still actively uses, like, heroin. I was just like, Jesus, God damn it, Grandma, I know you like to party, but chill out.
Me and Mary Beth saw a couple people that were, like, late. They were in the subway, but you know when it's heroin because they're like slumped and no movement for like 5 minutes. You walk past them and there's just like no movement. You're like, oh, okay, that's a little bit of heroin, or they're standing up in the sidewalk, but they're like slumped down. You're like, ah. That sucks, man. Because in my hometown, it was meth. Meth was a big thing. So you could see
you gotta love
people
the South.
were wild. And so you could tell when a community is stricken by meth. Because like heroin, everybody's like really sleepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad to see. Coming up north was very interesting because I learned many different ways to use heroin too. I didn't realize that you could like snort it. No. I just didn't know you could snort it at all. And people were talking about how they did it. And like when I would ask patients and stuff, and they would like go through all the methods, and I was like, oh man, I didn't even know that. I'm out of the loop. Someone starts using slang and you don't know it. You feel old. You're like, oh crap. This is your first time in Jersey?
probably been here more than all you guys, even though you've lived here longer than me, technically.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've been here longer than you now. Not in New York.
For
Jersey,
the time period that you've been here, sure. But, I mean, I grew up in New York, so my friends live in Jersey. My sister live in Jersey, so, you know.
How was it growing up in New York when you have, like, the epic of Christmas, all the time? Like, I feel like I watch Christmas movies now, and I'm like, oh, I recognize that, and I recognize that. I know Mary Beth does, definitely.
I mean, I grew up in Long Island, so it's a suburb of the city, so you're kind of removed from it. If you want to go to the city, you can go.
You're too good for the city.
Yeah, no, 100%. You've said it exactly right.
Yeah. But we're glad we have you on the other side of the river.
Glad to be here.
Because now they're shutting stuff down in New York, too, like with the elective surgeries and everything. Did that, like, slow down any of your rotations or anything?
No,
whatsoever. And the Bronx has gotten pretty bad because, like, a bunch of, like, their IM department got, like, put on, like, the COVID list, basically. And it's really bad for my fantasy team, which I'm very pissed off about.
Oh, yeah. Our ER, it was just full just because people wanted to get COVID tested because the line was wild for, like, all those random COVID stands, you know, that you could get your test at.
Yeah.
And they only accept, like, a couple amount of people every day. Like, it's a certain amount. And so people would just pile into the ER. And so we almost had to defer, like, patients because so many people were coming because of the Omicron.
So have you guys ever done DMT before? All right, carry on.
Mary Beth, you want to answer that? No, I'm just kidding.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Keep it on. Cut it out.
But yeah, I mean, the only other thing that we really have to talk to, like, medical about, like, what you're doing the application process now. So how's that been going? Anything?
So, like, for me, I've been, like, good. Like, I've mostly just applied to, like, IM, and it's looking like I'm going to go into IM. Probably going to stay in the city if I can, because I've kind of been swayed. I want to stay in New York, ideally, for, like, these 3 years. But I've been liking it. Like, I got a couple good programs that I really like. I think for the most part, it's just, like, trying to figure out, you know, how I'm going to rank them. But other than that, like, it's been pretty good.
The city grows on you.
Dude, the city does grow on me. So, like, I remember thinking I was going to 100% go back home to Florida after this year and a half that I've been here. I went home for my rotation, my sub-I at Cleveland Clinic in Florida. The hospital was gorgeous. The people were great. The program is really good. I'm 100% going to rank them. But at the same time, I'm just like, I liked being in Florida, but I lived there my entire life, and I only lived in Grenada. I want to live somewhere else for at least a solid amount of time. And everyone I talked to in Florida, even at Cleveland Clinic, most of the attendings were from New York. Every single one. Oh, I worked at St. Barnabas in the Bronx. I was at Lincoln. I was at Downstate. Like, all of these places. And I'm just like, if they're able to come down, so should I. So why would I leave the city right now, even though I'm not completely bored or sick of it? Might as well just stay for the 3 years, enjoy the most of it that I can, and then go back down to Florida for, like, fellowship or work or whatever.
Is there anywhere that you would want to specifically do your residency at?
So, as of right now, I'm kind of like, I really like Brooklyn Methodist, which is kind of like now joined with New York Presbyterian. And New York Presbyterian is a phenomenal system. Like, they even do, like, rotations for oncology and hematology at Sloan Kettering, which is easily the #1 cancer center in the world. So, like, to be able to do that and get that type of training on top of, like, Brooklyn being so diverse and you getting to see a bunch of, like, different pathologies and all that shit, like, for me, I was like 100%. So it's between, like, that and Downstate, where I did most of my rotations at.
So Brooklyn Methodist, hire this man.
Yes, please hire me.
Frag, what you doing?
So I'm currently similar position to Lewis. I'm in the middle of the application process. Well, not middle of interview season. I applied into physical medicine rehabilitation. Yeah, so I'm just interviewing at this point. I'm from New York, so I want to stay in the tri-state area. But yeah, it's pretty at this point. It's just interviewing, and Zoom interviews are definitely interesting. But you get used to it though.
Yeah,
you get used to it. Look, I mean, the one thing I've been thrilled about in this interview process is that since we do our interviews in Brooklyn in our apartment, and we have a fire station that's like an avenue over, and sometimes it goes by and it's super loud, and that one time as a fire truck driven by during an interview.
Dude,
really?
Yeah, it's never happened.
They come by at like 2 a.m. sometimes blasting their horns. I'm like, this is pretty convenient that it hasn't happened during the interview.
If anything, it should be good though, you know? Wakens them up. If you were being born, they're like, oh God.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember the guy with the fire truck
drove by.
Yeah.
They might not think better about you, but they'll at least remember you.
Of course. Yeah. Maybe.
I will say this, like the Zoom interviews have like really grown on me because of the fact that like you're kind of on your own time, even though you are in like the interview process. Because like most interviews have like the same structure of like, all right, you know, welcome to the program. This is all the highlights that we have. Maybe I'm lying to you about it. You'll never know. And for the most part, it's just basically like a giant like, look at us, pick us, we're great. Look at how nice we are, all that type of shit. But like you're able to kind of like turn your camera off and kind of go away for a little bit, which is great because like I feel like if you were at like the actual place, you would always have to be like on. You always have to have that like, I'm so eager to be here and all that type of stuff, where in reality I can just shut it off. I can just be like, I'm still happy to be here, and then turn off this video, and then I'll be like, I fucking hate this place.
Yeah. And you can do multiple in a day too. You can do an interview somewhere and not have to drive to another hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
yeah, but you don't want to do more than one in one day. It's like a lot, and so you would have to set it up where you'd have to get an interview in the morning. But a lot of the programs, they do morning interviews, but their time varies. They'll give you a timetable, and then they do afternoon. Some are like, we're starting at 10, and then it goes till 4:30. So like you can't do that. But even if you had one in the morning, it's kind of risky business trying to do 2 in one day because you don't know if there's going to be technical difficulties. So you don't know if it's going to be delayed by any chance. You don't want to be late to your next interview. So definitely don't recommend doing 2 in one day. It's a lot to handle. It's also a lot to handle. It's draining. Staring at a screen for hours. And they know it. They know it. They know it though. Like programs have been very cool about that. Like they know when you're in an interview for a few hours, they know how tiring it is. They're like, all right, you can go off, take your camera off, do whatever you need to do, get coffee, go to the bathroom, chill. Like, so they're pretty cool about it, pretty open about it. But yeah, definitely wouldn't recommend doing 2 in one day. That's a lot.
Is it nice being able to wear a suit and then wear your underwear too?
Yeah, I started off wearing like my Lululemon pants. Like they were nice and comfortable, but then I just switched to just wearing black sweatpants. I don't go full underwear just in case, but black sweatpants have been going well so far.
Yeah, you have that like paranoid thought they're gonna be like, hey, yeah, stand up. And we're like,
I don't know. You never know. You don't turn your camera off by accident. You don't want to look too bad.
That would be the great. You know how they always ask you a random question? Instead, they just say stand up. And you're like, oh no.
I've only been asked one weird question out of all my interviews. I think I've interviewed at like 15 places so far.
Oh really? That's what I was going to ask you. So what's the weird question then?
The weirdest question I was asked was, what animal do you see yourself as? Like, what animal would you consider yourself? That was the weirdest one. That was my first interview too. I was like,
you're like a nickel.
A nickel. That's not an animal. But so I was talking when I was at Maimonides for GI rotation for elective. I was talking to the program director for the fellowship program, and this was like a day before my first interview. And they were like, "Yeah, the weirdest question that we've asked is, what fruit or what vegetable would you be?" Interesting. Someone gave an interesting. And the program director was like, "Someone gave me a cool answer. Like, I'd be a potato."
yeah.
Because of how versatile I am. I could be a French fry. I could be roasted. I can be
Vodka.
I could be vodka. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, I'm a versatile vegetable. I'm a versatile fellowship candidate.
That's actually a great answer.
That's a great
So what
answer.
animal did you say you were?
I'm not going to disclaim that. I panicked.
So what? Okay.
All right,
Can we guess? Lewis, what do you think he said?
I know what he said.
You know what it is.
I know what he said.
Okay.
I panicked.
Let me think. I'm going to say you a giraffe.
A
It could be a giraffe.
Why?
No, I don't know why, but the first thing that came... I'll just tell you. It's the first...
A meerkat? Meerkat's a good one, too. They pop out of holes. They go in back in their hole. You can only catch them every now and then.
You need to cut that. That could be misconstrued. No, I panicked, but I think I came up with a decent enough answer to make her laugh. But I said I would be a corgi. I don't know why.
The dog?
Like
The dog,
I think it's a corgi, right?
Corgi, whatever. All right. Whatever.
She's like, I'm not sure if I know that animal.
He's like, you're out.
And nice to meet you, goodbye.
Nice to meet you, weird out.
Why did you like,
did you
have to describe it, or you just said corgi?
I said to her, I was like, honestly, I have no idea, but if I had to pick, I'd be a corgi because they're cute and have a fat ass.
She's like, stand up, prove it.
Let me see that ass.
I didn't use fat ass. I was like, they have a cute butt, and everyone likes them. So, meanwhile, that's not literally none of those describe me.
They are cute, though.
So I lied.
Yeah, they
Partially lied.
They are super cute, though.
They are cute. I'm neither cute nor have a big butt, so none of that.
They're super
worked.
energetic, though.
I should use that. But I made her laugh. But then I told her the story about the.
And they're very intelligent dogs. You should have used that. You should have been like they're one of the most intelligent.
Well, I'm not, so that would have worked for me.
You're like, maybe I'm not a corgi.
No,
like
so I told her the story about the fellowship director and the potato, so she laughed about that. So that was at the end. She knew it was a stupid question.
Oh, you followed her question up with a question of your own. You're like, somebody told me
this, and they were like, okay, what vegetable would you be? We're like, I'd be a fucking potato, I guess.
You like cauliflower. What vegetable would you be?
Honestly, a potato. Why not?
Oh no,
he's a potato.
What animal would you
head?
Well, that's also what I do most of the time. Just sit on the couch and be a potato.
I can concur with that.
I can concur with that.
I can abide by that.
Yeah, the vegetable question we know. Yeah, you would be a potato's a good one for you.
Yes.
I'll do it 100%.
What animal would you be?
Me? I don't know. I guess a cockatoo because I talk too much.
I could see you as a bird.
Don't say that in the interview, Liz. Just don't say anything.
Oh, no, I'm not going to say anything.
Just look them straight in the eyes, and maybe they'll get scared and just walk away.
Or no, I'm a dolphin because I'm majestic and very good in water.
And very, very horny. I did reports in college on dolphins, and a significant amount of dolphins do die a year by a male inserting his genitalia in another one's blowhole, and since that's the breathing apparatus of the dolphin, they suffocate.
Fucking death by dolphin.
I read too many reports of like dolphins masturbating. It was insane.
All right, I'm gonna stop him right now and do an interlude of a joke. Are we ready for
Okay,
that?
please do.
You
should have stopped it.
I should have stopped him.
I know way too much about the dolphins.
All right, we'll have a segment where you can, if I'm not here, just call me in and I'll just give a...
There we go.
Okay, you ready for this? Why does Mr. Claus always pray, why does Mrs. Claus always pray for a white Christmas?
There's definitely...
That sounds dirty.
It is dirty.
There's definitely like a Santa coming on Mrs. Claus joke in there.
Oh, Santa's always coming to town.
No, because she's married to a guy who only comes once a year.
Ooh.
Same.
Oh,
We're not cutting that out. We're not cutting that out.
No, I need to edit that one.
So have any of you guys done DMT before?
I got a couple rapid fire questions. All right, what would be similar to your interview ones? But what would be your first doctor purchase? Like once you actually get that check.
that first attending money?
Yeah, we'll say attending money. Once you've got your respectable loans and your debt, you paid off your loan sharks, and you're like,
fucking Sally
and you're
Mae.
just comfortable
Uncle
enough.
Sam?
You're like, let's go. I'm about to ball. What would it be?
Probably like a really extravagant trip. Like I'm talking like money's no expense. Go to the Maldives, have like one of those like fucking huts on the water where I can just roll out of bed and jump straight into the ocean, sort of thing.
People are just feeding you grapes.
Yeah, exactly. Have a Maldivian like Sherpa carry me up a mountain. Like, let's do it.
I mean, that sounds like fun.
All right, I'm gonna go with something better.
Okay.
No, not better. I think my first, what I'm gonna do with whatever paycheck I have first, regardless of the whole debt situation, because that's not fun. I think I would put a decent amount of money into the stock market. That's
a sensible choice.
That's the honest answer.
Okay, so what will be... I understand investing, because that's definitely what I would do at first. I would definitely put my money there. But then what are you going to play with? You have to buy something to play with. You play with yourself
I
all
said
the
stock
time.
market. I meant go to Vegas and put it on red. That's what I meant.
Put my entire check on red.
It's the same thing, right?
Yes.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a good purchase.
Yeah.
That's a wise business decision if you really think about it.
If you had to choose one place to live and practice medicine that's not in the U.S., where would it be? Like, because you're always down to travel. Barcelona, you already know?
I already know, Barcelona. Without a
I
shadow
don't
of
know
a
enough.
doubt.
Yeah. Have you been to Barcelona?
Yeah.
So you already know the inner workings.
I've already said it. Like I'm buying a house or an apartment in Barcelona or a different part of Spain, and I'm gonna live there and probably retire there. Ideally. So like the goal is to actually get my Spanish passport. So I can get my Spanish passport because my grandfather's father was from Spain.
He's gonna be making that money.
I mean, dude, honestly, you can buy a lot of shit in Spain. Spain's like mad cheap. Like I would never forget. Like some of the best experience I've had like eating out was in Spain. Like I remember going and getting like 3 bottles of wine, a full like course meal, like almost 3 courses, and pay €60.
How long did you spend there?
In Spain?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Did you stay in Barcelona or did you go?
No, I did Madrid, Barcelona, Pamplona. That's where I did the bull run.
Oh, yeah. You used to me, yeah. Yeah, Lewis's run with the Bulls. Didn't you get... So somebody got stabbed.
No, I didn't get hit. Someone got fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
So unfortunate, right?
You have a video of somebody.
No. I have a video of someone getting hit.
That's what it is.
Like it should have
That's
been
what it
you.
is.
Honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't me.
Like it should have.
At this point, I'm a pretty easy target to get.
But you were saying like they at one point they have to like kind of toy with it. You know, you're just like having fun. You're like and that's when you get hit.
Yeah,
you're
so like you don't really get hit in the run unless someone near you is fucking with the bulls. Because if they fuck with the bulls, like not only like I've seen it where like so. The way it runs, like the way it goes is like as you're running, there's actually like toreros is what they say in Spanish. It's basically like cowboys in a sense, where they're running behind the bulls with like a wick. And if you like get near the bull or even if you touch the bull, that dude will light you up with the wick. I saw a guy get smacked in the face with a wick. Because
they
like,
don't
tried
want
to
you
touch
touching
the
the
bull.
bulls.
Because the thing is, like, they have like a one-track mind. They're like, all right, I'm gonna follow the leading like cows is what they are because they have like a bell and they're trained. Okay, hear the bell, follow the guy in front of you. But if you get them off course, it's a free for all. They can stop in the middle of the street and just start wrecking people.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to touch them. So you have like the toreros running behind them, and they're like, all right, if I see you, if you get anywhere near the bull, they'll like tap you with the wick. But if you touch them, they'll light your ass up. I saw a guy get whacked and he just fell.
He got whacked by the
wick.
cowboy.
Yeah, by the cowboy because they're like, look, I'm not risking my life or anyone else's life because you decided to.
Can you imagine you're going to go pet it and then he just zaps you and you just drop, fall down?
What I think really happened was that Lewis wanted to get whacked, so he touched the ball.
I didn't get hit. I was smart enough to run away from that asshole.
Man, like Indiana Jones.
Dude, like, and it's crazy because like the streets are not that big. Like the bulls are like basically minivans. Like they're just going down the street. So if someone falls in front of you, like the biggest thing, like injuries, especially during the run, is human error. Because like you can like trip or get hit. Someone can maybe push you into the bull, or someone pushes you into like a shop front. That's the biggest thing. Like I remember one time, like as I'm like nearing the Coliseum, because like it's about a half-mile run, and then the Coliseum at the end. And as we're nearing the Coliseum, this guy jumped from the outside into the run like an idiot because you're not supposed to do that. Everyone's running at full speed. So like all you just see is like I'm maybe like 6 people behind. He lands and instantly gets like shoved into like a store, like one of those like pull down doors. Gets shoved into that. Another guy just hits him. A guy in front of me elbows him in the face, and he like kind of just like stands up and kind of just leans against the wall. But like you can get your ass fucked up if you do that. Actually, Rico had to carry a girl because she froze in the Coliseum, like in like the tunnel, because there's like a tunnel leading inside to the Coliseum. And my boy Rico, like she froze because she fell and she was scared. So he's like, "Move, bitch!" and just picks her up and just starts running with her on his shoulder.
Were you getting like nervous like when you saw the bulls, right? And you're like, am I going to be able to outrun these? Did you like see everybody else
dude,
and you're like,
excited.
okay, I'll be able to make it?
Honestly, I was excited. The entire
There's
so
like a
the
fat
reason
guy, you're like, I can outrun this guy.
Dude, honestly, I was like mad excited. Like I did this entire trip through Europe to do this. So like the second we started, like I could hear the bulls coming because like you can hear them because it's like 12 of them. It almost feels and sounds like thunder as they're like running towards you. And at that point, I was just like all the adrenaline kicked in, and we just like booked it to the Coliseum. And it's cool because like once they run into the Coliseum, they book it all the way to the end, and there's like a door, like kind of like a cow door. They just all just run in there and they close it, and they're done. At least for that round. So you run in, and it's like what I would experience being a gladiator or like an NFL football player would be, or just like even a college football player. Like you're running in from like the dome or whatever, and the entire Coliseum is just erupting.
Oh, like everybody's waiting for you to return.
Exactly. So like the second they start seeing runners pile in, everyone's just losing their shit.
Ooh.
So like you run in, and I've never played football or anything like that, so I was just like, oh my god, is this what it feels like?
You're like, you love me. You love me.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Awesome. Yeah, you said they gave you like beads or something, right? And then
No,
you got
they
to
didn't
drink,
give me
or
beads.
what was it? Your hat?
They gave him bees, and then he had to pull his shirt up for everyone.
I had to show my
It was
tits.
it was basically Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Didn't
what
they give
happened.
you something though, and you could drink for
I mean,
free?
I have fantastic tits, so they used to give me some really nice shit.
If you ran with the bulls, you got to drink for free or something?
Oh yeah, so after the run, so like if they saw you, and especially since it was like a really rainy day, they can actually tell who ran because you're like covered in mud from like the Coliseum and stuff. So like we decided to go to like this one Spanish bar outside. Everyone's pretty much dressed the same, all white with like a red handkerchief hanging on their neck. So like
But
they
you
saw
just have
us.
mud and shit
Yeah,
all
like,
over you.
all mud and sandy and dusty and shit. So the second we walk in, they knew we ran. So they were like, drinks on the house. So we had like a
nice.
few beers before we ended up going back to the campsite.
That moment when you're running faster than your friend, but you don't want to slow down.
Hear me out here. What would happen? Could it happen if you rode in on top of a bull?
Oh, I become the president of
Do
Spain.
you automatically become president?
I do become president.
should be.
Actually, it's part of the presidential race in Spain. You have to ride a bull into the Coliseum.
That's just-
during what is it? San Fermin?
This is a
Is this-
deep thought that I had.
Is that real though? There's no way.
No.
Oh, okay. For a second, you named the holiday. I was like, that could be something.
You don't become the president of Spain. You just become supreme leader.
Our fearless leader. Our fearless leader.
It's written into the
A
Constitution.
Cuban guy
of
from
the United
Miami.
States. You immediately get control of all aspects of government. Fragner, where would you practice? Lewis will be running with the Bulls.
Oh, wow, right. So back to the question. So he goes Barcelona. I go, this is for the rest of my life, or?
I mean, yeah. Like, let's say in
Third time
5
period.
years, U.S. is destroyed, just blows up somehow, and
Go
then you have to
somewhere
go somewhere else, and you have to go practice. You just have to live somewhere else. You can't go back to New York, unfortunately.
All right.
The plague has happened. Omicron.
I'm gonna stay away from the European countries, and I'm just gonna go with Costa Rica.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Get yourself
Okay.
a little tan.
Why not? Right? Why not?
Actually, Costa Rica is like one of the nicest countries in like Central America.
Yeah.
What is it? It's the emerald or the
Well,
jewel. of
it's
Central
really,
America.
it's really. I'd probably practice, but then I would try to.
Open a surf school.
I would try to like make my actual dream happen, which is to own a bacon, egg, and cheese and mimosa stand on the beach.
That is my.
For all my New Yorkers.
That was
out
going to
there.
be my next question.
I have to give a shout out to my friend Ryan Crossan from college because that's our co-idea. So yeah, it'll be bacon, egg, and cheese and mimosa stand, and I may provide some medical, expertise on the side.
Yeah, can I get a bacon, egg, and cheese and a colonoscopy afterwards? It's like,
Sir, you're
you got it,
55.
sir.
I'm going to need to check that.
Yeah, no, there's free rectal exams for all.
Because you know what? Because Dr. Fragner cares.
Yes.
He really cares.
Yes, I care about everyone except for you.
That should be
Except for you.
That should be your tagline at your clinic. Dr. Fragner cares, except for Lewis.
We care, except for Lewis.
So the other question I was going to have, which that might be your answer, is what would be the job that you would do if it wasn't in medicine? Like you can't choose anything in medicine. Would it be bacon, egg, and cheese on the beach with?
That's a pipe dream, but it's a dream.
That's when you're successful.
Is this okay?
You want to have your doctor.
So I want to clarify this question. So is this something that I would have done if I wasn't a doctor, or if I became a doctor and then something after?
Oh no! This is if you didn't become a doctor.
If I didn't become a doctor,
You know no medical knowledge.
the honest answer was I thought I wanted to be an architect for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought I wanted to do before. So I think that's something that I would have tried to do. Yeah,
Just what interested you? You like the buildings?
yeah, building's good. Building's good.
I liked equations and.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was cool, and I enjoyed drawing and all that crap when I was younger. So I also thought there was a lot of not scientific, just like creative perspective that you put into it, and I thought that was something that would be cool. The mixture of creativeness and being someone who's interested in math and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was something that could be cool, but that's a past dream.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize how amazing it was, like how they were able to build New York, all these buildings as tall as they are and everything. Like it really blows your mind to think about how it was even done back in like the 1900s. And even now, when I see them building that building that's right beside us, like I look up and it's so high, it disorients you.
Building's good.
Buildings are good. Lewis, what would be your job?
I don't know.
If you weren't saving people's lives.
I'd probably go back to teaching. I think
Oh
teaching would be
yeah.
fun.
Lewis was a teacher. Lewis taught the young.
I taught the future of America.
Yes.
God
Everybody,
help us all.
I doubt you're listening if you're a student, but if you are, this is your mentor.
Honestly-
He was Mr. Gonzalez, and now he's Dr. Gonzalez.
Jesus Christ, man. Honestly, it was so much fun, man.
Hi to your fucking children.
What about you, Jordan?
If I didn't do medicine, ooh, I didn't even think about this answer for myself at all. I could see myself either... The only problem is I don't have good enough eyesight to be a pilot, but I would love to be like a pilot or like flying. I could see myself doing that. Some kind of craft. I know I would want to do that.
He'd be a drummer. Let me say that.
Oh, Rock is dead, but dude, if I could go back like 30 years... You're going to be
fucking Tommy Lee.
And then that would be the aspiration. Yeah.
Do you play the drums?
No. I do not. I tried to. I was in band in 6th grade, and I tried to play the drums. Then they said we only have 2 drum sets, and we have 2 people that are actually going to be in the band for a long time. And I was like, wow, way to call me out early. And
so you played the triangle?
So I played the clarinet for a year, and then I was out. I can read music though. I just can't play the clarinet at all. I'm terrible. I literally sat in one of the whatever those little concert things, and the band director told me not to play before, and I was like, don't worry, I wasn't planning on it.
All right, so the most important question.
That might be the most important thing.
And the second most important question will go to MB right after. But the most important question is, Riley, what kind of dog would you become if you weren't a house dog? Would she be a blind person dog? Would she be a drug dog?
Oh, drug dog.
She would be a drug dog, yeah. Yes. I'm going to need input from Mom.
She basically is one already now.
What'd you smell there, girl? What'd you smell?
She likes to be in the center of it. She likes to be investigative.
Can we fucking create like a Scooby-Doo level cartoon for her?
What is your perfect life? Like if you had to pick a pet, what is your pet that you bring into your... Would you have dogs?
Of course. I think that's the easy choice for me.
So
that's like an easy answer.
Corgis for you? Is that what you call them?
I've never even had a corgi. Yeah.
A corgi?
That was a panic answer. I shared a lot with you today.
Is there one thing that you like, that you're happy about, that you went to St. George, like that you went to Grenada and experienced? Like, are you glad? Is there one thing that you're glad that you did that instead of going like to an American med school or somewhere else?
Honestly, dude, like, I can't say anything bad about going to St. George's. Like, when I first went there, I had, like, it's all that hesitation. Like, are we going to go to, like, a Caribbean med school and get fucked? Because, like, I know of a couple of my friends that are currently in, like, AUA and a couple different schools where they're like, dude, I hate it here, all this shit. Yeah. But, like, St. George's, like, even now, especially because we're in the interview, like, trail, we're still getting good programs to go to school, to go to, residency to. And while I was at Cleveland Clinic, I remember talking to a couple of the guys, even, like, from Ross, and they don't have the same, opportunities that we do. Like, St. George's still carries a good name.
I will say our opportunities are pretty high at SGU.
Yeah, so, like, I can't say anything bad about it, you feel?
Hey, we're going to have to roll. It's been great.
Later.
Hey everyone, I want to take this time to tell you about our friends over at TrueLearn. They have this top-of-the-line test bank that is perfect for any upcoming board exams that you may have. They have test banks for all types of exams. So whether you're studying for medical school, nursing school, OT, pharmacy, and others like speech pathology, TrueLearn is the way to go. If you're like me and going through medical school, they have question banks for all the big exams, like Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3, with quality assessments for each exam. Look, I know we didn't go into healthcare because we love taking tests. This is the hard part of the job. Make it easy on yourself with TrueLearn. Sign up now with the code OFFWHITECOAT to get $25 off your purchase. That's OFF WHITECOAT, no spaces, to get $25 off your purchase. This is a test bank that you do not want to pass up on. Make this easy on yourself. Take the deal, pass your boards, and get back to enjoying the reason you went into healthcare. And make sure to use Off White Coat when you pick it up.